Happy Thursday, it's Allison here, and I wanted to create a video to talk to you guys today because I am currently reading a book called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Now, I typically read this book once a year because it's such a great book on success. It shares some really good principles on success and how we reach success and what needs to be done. And one thing that I found, and I'll use myself, you guys know I'm always trying to be open and honest with you guys. I'll use myself here. There have been times where I've set goals. There have been times where I've wanted to, achieve something, and I give up about a week into it or 2 weeks into it. And something that he talks about in Slight Edge, if you've never read the book, you should read the book because it's fantastic. It's an awesome book. But what he says is, I wrote it down so that way I can really tell it to you guys exactly what it says. But the basic principle of the book is simple little actions done consistently over time will add up to very big accomplishments. Simple little actions done consistently over time will add to very big accomplishments. Here's the trick here. There's a few different components. First and foremost, actions. Most people fail at stuff because they overcomplicate things. Most people set goals and then they're doing way too much and they overcomplicate the process. The reality is that in most situations, most people only need to do like one or two things differently in their life, in their goals to, lose weight, to get out of debt, to change your job, to be a better spouse, whatever it is. Typically, it's only a couple of things that you have to do. What happens is we think we have to do all this stuff. So let's just use weight loss as an example because I'm a coach and a trainer, so you guys know that's like my premier my life. I'll meet with someone and they'll tell me, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds at the end of summer. So I'm going to work out 7 days a week. I'm going to give up carbs. I'm going to, take the Zumba class. I'm going to do all, and they give me a list of like a bazillion things that they're going to do. And I'm just thinking to myself, unless you are like the 1% of people who are actually like that kind of like cerebral and crazy, who can actually do like a million things and like eliminate everything, chances are you're going to fail. And it's not because you're not capable. It's not because you're not smart. It's not because you're not a great person. It's because you're making it too complicated. So here's the first thing, simple little actions. So you need to ask yourself, what's my main goal? What is one or two things I can do right now that I can start doing that's going to move me closer to reaching that goal? Now, the next part of that is done consistently over time. So this brings up another great point in the book where he talks about something called the invisible result. Okay? So that person who wants to lose weight and get healthy. So we've already cut down the million things they need to do and say, okay, you're going to just wake up early and go for a 30-minute walk, and then you're going to make sure that you eat a very healthy breakfast after your walk, okay? Those are the only two things you're going to change. Consistently, over time, if this person consistently walks for 30 minutes, eats a healthy breakfast to start her day or his day in a healthy, fulfilling way that's going to kind of carry on for the rest of the day, over time, if done consistently, they're going to get results. Period, because they're doing something positive into their life. Now, they may not get drastic results, but they're doing something positive to do that. Here's the kicker. That person will go for a walk and eat a healthy breakfast for like a week, and they're not going to see any drastic changes. In their mind, they're thinking, I want to lose 20 pounds. After a week, they've done the walking, they've done the healthy breakfast, they haven't lost 20 pounds, so they're immediately thinking, this isn't working. We are so conditioned on instant gratification. We are so conditioned off of immediate results. We are so conditioned to have everything right now, that we are giving up on doing the things that we need to do and giving up on our goals because we are not seeing things happen like that. Here's a news flash. For most people, you did not gain that 50 pounds like that. You know what happened? It happened over consistent period of time, you grabbing for the junk food, not working out, doing all these negative bad habits that led to the weight gain that you had. You didn't just eat one slice of pizza and gain 50 pounds, right? But if you're consistently eating pizza every single day and not working out, you're going to gain weight. That's how that kind of works. And so many people are like, they forget how long it took them to gain that weight or to get into debt or whatever goals they're trying to fix, and just think that magically they're going to do one thing for one day and everything's going to change. It doesn't work that way. And you have to be realistic and honest with yourself when you're doing that. And that's where people like to quit. That's where they like to give up. I've done it before. We've all done it. We do something and we're like, oh, this isn't working, so you give up. Here's the thing about that invisible result. The invisible result that you're creating is called momentum. If you're consistently doing the right thing, consistently over time, you're building a foundation of momentum. And for any of my like metaphysical people out there, or science people, you know how powerful momentum is. And if you keep the ball rolling and you keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, eventually something's going to shift, something's going to change, and you're going to start seeing those results. But if you give up before the momentum actually hits that point where now it's this unstoppable force, which is you basically creating habits, that's your unstoppable force. Creating that habit of a healthy lifestyle, which gets momentum going. Most people quit before they can establish a habit. Most people quit before momentum can take off. And you know what happens? Like I said, momentum is so powerful. It's powerful when it's going, but it's also super powerful when it stops. Because once momentum stops, you know how hard it is to get back to that point? Because now it's like one step forward, two steps back. So now you're in a worse situation because you gave up by doing something very simple. You just gave up. And that's what I see happen all the time. Any person who tells me that they've struggled their whole life with yo-yo diets and weight loss, or I call being on the weight loss roller coaster, it's because they either overcomplicated things or they did something simple, but they didn't do it long enough to build momentum. So they constantly are on this roller coaster of gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, because they didn't allow the invisible result to take place and build a foundation. Because once it shifts, I'm telling you guys, that's when the magic happens. That's how it works. And if you read the book The Slight Edge, the first chapter talks about this exact thing I'm talking about. So if you don't even read the whole book, just read that first chapter. It's so incredible. But that's the thing. And one thing that also the book talks about is, like I said, it's simple actions, simple little actions. And you know what the beauty of simple little actions? They're easy to do. It's easy to do the simple things. But you know what else comes with that? It's easy not to do. That's the difference between someone who reaches their goals and who doesn't. That's the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. It's the fact that they do the things that people aren't willing to do. Successful people do the things that unsuccessful people aren't willing to do. And normally it's not even hard things. It's super simple. So that one person who I would ask, just go for a walk every single morning for the next 3 months. Just change that one thing and do that. 30 minutes a day. Here's what's going to happen. The first couple of days of that week, they're like, okay, I'm doing it. I feel great. Everything's good. They don't see the number move on the scale. So what happens on day 4? They wake up, they're a little bit tired, their alarm goes off, they're like, you know what? I don't feel like doing it today. So you know what? I'm just going to I'm just going to take the day off. One day won't hurt. True. One day won't hurt. But once you allow that excuse to creep in, you know what happens? You start to get comfortable with that excuse. And you begin to use it over and over again. You'll start waking up later. You'll put your alarm clock on snooze and say, it's just today. It's not going to make a big difference. Now you're creating negative momentum. Now you're creating momentum in the opposite direction because you've just made the decision that you're not going to do something very simple. Waking up 30 minutes earlier, putting your shoes on, going for a walk, coming home and eating a healthy breakfast. That's where a lot of people miss the mark. That's where a lot of people struggle. That's why a lot of people can't be consistent because they're not willing to do the simple little actions consistently over time. They let their excuses get in their way, and you guys already know how I feel about excuses. Most of the time when you give me an excuse, if I'm your trainer and I'm your coach and you give me an excuse, you know what I'm really hearing? This is not a priority to me. This is something that I'm saying that I want to lose weight. I'm saying that I want to get healthy. I've had 2 conversations today with people who have just gotten a bad report from their doctors. One of the people I spoke to, he said, the doctor basically told me this, this, and this. And if I don't change that, this is going to happen. But he said, you know what? But I just don't have time to eat healthy. And I, held my tongue, and I finally said, you know what? You just told me that your health isn't a priority, and I want you to be okay with that. So I want that you can't do it. I want you to tell me that your health isn't a priority. And he got real quiet. And he said, you're right. You're right. What do I need to do? And then we were able to have a real conversation, because he was able to push past his excuses and understand that what I'm asking him to do isn't going to be complicated. I said, could you replace 1 meal a day with Shakeology? 1 meal a day. That's all I'm asking you to do right now. Because I know the benefits of Shakeology. I know, because they've changed my life. I've seen them change other people's lives. I know the benefits of it. And all I'm asking to do is change one thing. And let's monitor from that. And he finally agreed. He figured it out. So what I want you guys to understand when it comes to your goals, when it comes to doing different things, is that it's really simple. I promise you it's simple. And I know that we're always looking for the secret to success and all these things, and what's the secret sauce. The real secret is simply doing simple little actions consistently over time. And if you can make that commitment to yourself, and know that as long as you do that, you're making progress, and it's one step at a time. And eventually, that simple action is no longer going to feel like a chore. It's going to turn into a habit. It's going to create momentum, which is that invisible result. And once that momentum hits that peak, at that point, it's smooth sailing, and things are going to change. And long term, you're going to have real results that are going to last a lifetime, because you've now made it a part of your life. You've now made it a part of who you are. And now there's no excuse in the world that's going to take that away from you. Perfect example, and I'm going to end it because I know I'm getting on my soapbox here. When we were young, our parents would always yell at us and say, go brush your teeth, go brush your teeth, go brush your teeth, go brush your teeth. Because we weren't at a point yet where we were able to take 2 minutes out of our morning and out of our night to brush our teeth. Now, if we skipped one night and didn't brush our teeth probably weren't going to fall out, and we weren't going to have cavities. But if every single night you start skipping brushing your teeth, and if your parents stopped reminding you to brush your teeth, what would happen? You'd have very poor dental health. Your teeth would probably rot and fall out, and you'd have to endure a lot of painful oral surgery. But it's because our parents consistently drilled into our minds, into our habits and our lifestyles to brush our teeth every morning and every night, we developed the habit of brushing our teeth. And for most of us, that means that our dental health is okay. It's the same thing. It's very easy to brush your teeth, but it's easy to say, I don't want to. And that's how you have to think about it. So every single day, figure out what you need to do and just do it consistently, and just give yourself the grace and the patience to know that eventually it's going to change, you're going to get results, and you're going to be stoked about it because you put in the time and the effort. So I want to hear give me one thing that you can do that's going to move you closer to reaching your goal. If it's eating healthier, focus on eating a healthy breakfast every single morning. Maybe it's replacing a meal a day with Shakeology. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's saving money, to help you with your finances. I don't really know what it is. I don't know what your goals are, but what I am asking you to do is comment below and share with me one thing that you can start doing every single day, and give yourself a time limit. Give yourself 90 days. And make that commitment. What I might do is create another video later where I'll break down for you how to kind of create a strategy around that, because I think that's also where people sometimes slack a little bit, and that's the coach in me wanting to help you guys with that. But hopefully this was helpful for you, because that's really important. Lila, I see what you just wrote here. You said, so often I give up because I cannot be consistent. I'm going to start small this time. That's the ticket. Start small. Try that. It will definitely work. It will take some time, but I promise you, if you stick with it and you're doing the right things, it will change. So start small, be consistent, let that invisible result, aka momentum, establish itself and kick in for you, and I guarantee you're going to see some changes in your life. Also, the book that I'm talking about is called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Check it out. I'll put a link below so you can check it out on Amazon. It's a great book, but I'm excited. So comment below. I want to hear what you're going to do so I can keep you motivated and nag you about it as well. All right, guys, good luck with your goals. Good luck with your small actions, and I can't wait to see and celebrate your success. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.